watching Local News 8 at 6. Local people, local news.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Easter weekend is almost here, but what is the weather going to be like? Our chief meteorologist standing by, he's got the answers for us. Michael?
Well, it's still going to be stormy tonight and tomorrow, Carol, but I got great news for Easter weekend. It looks like we're actually going to have some very nice conditions for Saturday and most of your Sunday. But we are getting walloped with snow, rain, thunderstorms, strong wind gusts here for tonight and tomorrow. This is a live look at Gilmore Summit, Highway 28 in Lemhi County. The snow is coming down here, and then we go to Gem Valley, Highway 30. This is on your way between Soda Springs and Lava Hot Springs, and as you look here across the valley, thunderstorms coming into Gem Valley with some dark clouds there. Over to First Alert Viper radar, we've had a few thunderstorms, snowstorms, if you will, passing through Fremont County, getting into Island Park. Also a couple thundercells still with us in Bannock and Bingham County. In fact, there's a thunderstorm that's just starting to really develop over Blackfoot right now, pushing off to the east there into the highlands. We also have, again, those thunderstorms and those passing showers that are now getting into Soda Springs, pushing towards the Wyoming border. As we go to the upper valley and pushing into the Snake Highlands, thunderstorms came through earlier this evening around Ashton. It is still raining and snowing in Fremont County. Snow showers getting up into Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Park. Wind speeds, they're very strong outside. These are the sustained wind speeds, still at 28 for Rexburg, 21 in Idaho Falls, 28 in Pocatello. But the wind gusts are kicking around 40 miles an hour, and that's what's also driving in elevated temperatures. It's 49 in Idaho Falls, 48 in Blackfoot, and 49 in Pocatello. Of course, it feels much colder outside with the wind. When I return, I'm talking about temperatures taking a hit for tomorrow, rebounding the temps just in time for the weekend, and more showers next week. Carol.
All right, that's close.
And now to Boise, where lawmakers are working to finish the 2016 session by the weekend. One of the biggest issues this year has been providing health insurance to the thousands of Idahoans who fall in that Medicaid gap.
Now, just this afternoon, the Senate passed a revised House bill to try to provide some help. The bill would provide a $5 million a year grant to clinics for the next 2 years to help uninsured working poor in Idaho. The Senate added some new language to start the process for a Medicaid waiver from the federal government next session. That would allow the state to develop its own health insurance program using federal Medicaid dollars. The bill now goes back to the House.
As the health care debate grinds on at the legislature, some of those who live in the health care gap spoke at the state capitol today. They're the people who can't afford adequate health insurance but make too much to qualify for health care subsidies. Scott Logan has one woman's story.
Shelley Glue of Nampa is one of 78,000 Idahoans in the health care gap. She says her husband endures an agonizing illness and mounting medical bills are dragging her family down.
He suffers every day. Recently, my young daughter started to exhibit these symptoms. They're eerily similar to her father's. Listening to a child scream in pain is a hellish torture.
And she says she's angry lawmakers are not providing substantial help this session to Idaho's underinsured working poor.
I'm a tough woman, but when I heard that once again they were not going to close the coverage gap, I crumbled. I cried in frustration. I cried because 78,000 people will continue to suffer and some will die. Our legislature does not care. What they proposed was a slap in the face. It will not prevent suffering. We need to expand Medicaid.
And a doctor from eastern Idaho shared her anger and urged lawmakers to act.
Do the honorable thing. Do not leave Boise with blood on your hands.
Today, 4 Democrats skipped a committee meeting saying it wasn't worth their time. The meeting was addressing a bill that would make it illegal to harvest fetal organs and tissue. The Democrats called the meeting an attack on Planned Parenthood and women's rights.
The bill before the committee today is a fraud. It is fraudulent to use our time here to run special interest bills that are in bad public policy.
If we can't even close the health care gap for 78,000 Idahoans and we're going to waste our time and taxpayers' money on this, we will not attend it. And I don't want to end my session on a terrible note in that way.
The lawmakers want legislation to focus instead on closing the health care gap, increasing the minimum wage, protecting the public lands, and investing in education. Once the legislature does wrap up, many lawmakers will hit the campaign trail ahead of the May primary.
The American Legion is the largest veteran service organization in the world, but their numbers are decreasing. today, Legion officers in Pocatello called veterans in Southeast Idaho to try to boost their membership numbers. Local News 8's Misty Inglis spoke with the Legion today. She joins us live in our Pocatello newsroom. So, Misty, how are they trying to encourage more people to join?
Jay, one thing they're focusing on is making sure that people understand what the Legion really is. One state officer I spoke with said a lot of people have the wrong idea about the Legion.
The perception of the people is a smoky bar where a bunch of people sit around drinking, and that's not what the new American Legion is.
The Legion focuses on making sure veterans have any help they might need. The Legion can file claims against the VA at no cost to the veteran. They also have emergency funds for vets in case of natural disasters. But it's more than just helping vets. It's about letting vets give back to the community and get involved. And the Legion offers a lot of ways to do that.
We have a lot of children and youth programs. Boys State, American Legion Baseball is big here in Pocatello. We do that, oratorical contest, junior shooting sports. There's a lot that goes with the American Legion other than just a bunch of veterans.
The Legion says that a lot of people also don't realize that it's for any veterans, no matter their age. Live in the Pocatello newsroom, I'm Misty Inglet.
All right, thank you, Misty. The American Legion currently has more than 750,000 members nationwide.
Since the recession in 2008, economic development in Pocatello has been growing. And since the development of Amy's Kitchen and Great Western Malting, things have really improved for the city. The Great Western Malting Company alone brings in $300 million annually for Idaho's economy. Executive Director of Bannock Development, John Rigetz, says everything is just going up from here.
Happy to be out of the recession. Our local companies are expanding, as we've been talking about, new companies coming in. And so we look forward to doing more of that in the future on a bigger and broader scale.
And Regis says some big projects are on the way this year, which will keep revenue and job openings on the rise.
Today's the kickoff to the 2016 Spring Fair. It's happening inside Holt Arena in Pocatello. Local News 8's Angelina Dixon is live there to preview all of the goodies on display. Angelina, what's one of the most popular vendors?
It's actually right across the floor over here, and it's been around coming to this event for 25 years. It's the Fudge-A-Little Candy Company. Whether you like to fudge a little or fudge a lot, they have more than just chocolate to satisfy the sweet tooth. It's one of 200 vendors here today. The candy company ranges from red ropes to rock candy, chocolates, caramels, and more.
Well, we've got licorice imported from Australia. We have our brittles and fudges and pecan rolls and an assortment of milk chocolates and dark chocolates. And the recipes have been in the family for over 100 years, so we use just the real ingredients. There's no fillers in it. Therefore, it's gluten-free.
And the Spring Fair, of course, has many other vendors to choose from, so come on out. It's a lot of fun, and thousands of people are expected to be here this weekend. Live in Holt Arena, I'm Angelina Dixon.
Thanks, Angelina. The Spring Fair is only $2 for admission and will go on until Saturday at 7 p.m.
I may have to stick my head in there, find the fudge a little.
Yes, all those different kinds of candy just sounded delicious.
It sure does.
Well, a local mayor wants to draw attention to his city senior citizens by making March Meals on Wheels Month. Coming up later in the show, we'll look at the program and what it does.
And First Alert's Michael Coates will come in next with a more detailed forecast. We'll be right back.